April 26, 1986, started like any other spring morning in Pripyat, a Soviet city built to house the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. But by 1:23 a.m., everything changed. Reactor No. 4 exploded during a late-night safety test, releasing a cloud of radioactive material that would impact millions. For those living closest to the plant, survival became a chaotic, terrifying game of timing, knowledge, and sometimes sheer luck. What exactly happened to the people who were there, and what can we learn from their experiences today? How survivors face the invisible threat of radiation. Radiation is a silent enemy. Unlike fire or floods, you can't see it, smell it, or hear it. The first people to suffer were plant workers and firefighters who rushed to the scene. Many of them had no idea what they were walking into. Firefighters climbed onto the burning reactor roof, unknowingly absorbing lethal doses of radiation in minutes. Some survived only days or weeks. Others lived for years with health complications like thyroid cancer, leukemia, and chronic fatigue. For everyday citizens in Pripyat, the danger was no less severe. Evacuation didn't come immediately. Residents continued to go about their lives for almost 36 hours, unknowingly inhaling radioactive particles. Understanding their survival today involves recognizing how awareness, quick decision-making, and access to accurate information can save lives in any disaster. If faced with a chemical or radiation emergency, knowing the evacuation routes, having a basic Geiger counter, or even following government alerts can make the difference between life and death. The long-term health consequences that many still face. Survivors of Chernobyl didn't just confront immediate radiation sickness, they also faced decades of uncertainty. Studies over the years have shown increased rates of thyroid cancer, particularly in children who drank contaminated milk. Leukemia and other blood disorders also spiked in those exposed to high levels of radiation. Psychologically, the trauma of sudden displacement, loss of home, and fear of invisible contamination left deep scars. Survivors often describe a constant underlying anxiety, a life forever changed by an event they could neither control nor predict. Applying this knowledge today isn't just about avoiding nuclear accidents. It's about understanding chronic risk and preparedness. Simple measures like keeping emergency supplies, understanding contamination risks in your environment, or knowing how to respond to medical emergencies caused by toxins, are lessons we can take directly from Chernobyl. The story of survivors is not just horror, it's also a roadmap for human resilience. How some survivors adapted and thrived despite the disaster. Amid the tragedy, there are remarkable stories of survival and adaptation. Some Pripyat residents moved away permanently, building new lives in distant towns, but kept strong bonds with their former neighbours, creating informal support networks that helped them cope. Others stayed nearby, cautiously tending gardens and livestock in slightly less contaminated zones, testing the soil and water to ensure safety. Their approach was methodical, combining observation, data collection, and cautious experimentation. Skills that anyone can apply in modern survival or emergency preparedness scenarios. For example, Understanding how to monitor environmental hazards, test food and water, or even manage a small-scale urban garden in risky conditions mirrors what survivors had to do. This isn't just history, it's actionable survival knowledge. A step-by-step mindset: observe, measure, act cautiously, and document your results can be a life-saving strategy in many high-risk situations, from chemical spills to natural disasters. What the world learned from Chernobyl about human resilience is, well, really quite remarkable. Chernobyl also highlighted human ingenuity under pressure. Engineers, scientists and emergency workers who risked their lives to contain the disaster showcased an extraordinary level of problem-solving under extreme risk. The liquidators, as they were called, cleaned up the radioactive debris, often with minimal protective gear, to prevent further catastrophe. Their stories teach a critical lesson. Survival is as much about mental preparedness, collaboration and courage as it is about avoiding danger. Modern emergency planning and survival training draw directly from these lessons. Whether you're preparing for natural disasters, industrial accidents or pandemics, the principle remains the same. Stay informed, act decisively, and work with your community. Observing the mental and practical strategies of Chernobyl survivors provides a blueprint for resilience that transcends time and geography. While the average person will hopefully never encounter a nuclear disaster, the survival strategies used by those who lived through Chernobyl can be applied in many areas of life. Building awareness of your environment, having emergency plans, knowing first aid, and maintaining a network of trusted people can make all the difference. Small steps, like having a stocked safe room, learning to filter and purify water, or understanding warning signs of environmental hazards, mirror the real-life precautions survivors took. These are practical skills with life-saving potential, turning history into actionable knowledge. Ultimately, the story of Chernobyl is not just about radiation and explosions. It's about human survival courage and resilience in the face of the invisible. Every survivor's experience is a lesson in adaptation strategy and hope under impossible circumstances. For history enthusiasts and survivalists alike, studying these stories provides both deep insight into human behavior and practical tools for modern preparedness. If this guide has given you a deeper understanding of the Chernobyl survivors and how their experiences can inform your own life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with fellow history buffs and survival enthusiasts. By keeping these stories alive, we honor those who endured unimaginable challenges and equip ourselves with knowledge that could one day save lives.